Summary of Chapter 4 Measures of Response Elasticities. Important topics that will be covered in this presentation are elasticity, effect of public policy on demand, time and inflation as factors affecting demand. Then there are other topics which I had already covered in my previous presentations, such as types of elasticity, elasticity with reference to supply side. So these topics I'll just be skimming through. Then I'll be explaining tax incidence in detail. Elasticity. Elasticity refers to the degree of responsiveness of one variable due to the change in another variable. So, if we it indicates the relationship between price and demand. The extent to which change in price can affect the demand or the supply of a product is known as its price elasticity. So elasticity is how much sensitive is the demand to the change in the price. So the formula to calculate elasticity is percentage change in quantity demanded due to the percentage change in price. Types of elasticity is cross elasticity. With a change in price of one commodity, there is a change in demand of another commodity. This is cross price elasticity. This is usually found in substitute goods, goods which are replaceable. And so the cross price elasticity of substitutes is very high usually. Then comes income elasticity of demand. When there is a change in quantity demanded for a commodity due to change in the income of consumer, this is termed as income elasticity of demand. That is, for example, when in consumers have more income, they will purchase more consumer products. Then elasticity with reference to supply side. With excess supply of goods, the price falls down. Unlike demand, there exists a direct relationship between the supply and the price. So when the supply of a commodity is excess, the price becomes low. Because of the existence of this direct relationship, there is a positive curve. If we represent this graphically, it means that supply curve slopes upwards. If we were to put this in a form of a formula, then uh, cross price elasticity would be percentage change in quantity demanded due to change of price of another good. And for income elasticity of demand, the formula would be percentage change in quantity demanded due to change in income. So the percentage change in quantity is a common thing in all the formulas. Effect of public policy on demand. Public policy refers to the steps or initiative taken by the government in order to impart equity and egalitarian distribution of resources. For example, price ceilings means supplier cannot legally charge more than a specific price, which is good in a way. For example, there is rent control. But however, what happens is, since they cannot charge any more price, they'll not be very much motivated to, even landlords will not be motivated to fix the house. The next example is the Essential Commodities Act 1995. It is a piece of legislation that has been used by the government to regulate the market of essential commodities such as food grains, drugs, etc., petroleum products. The object of this piece of legislation is to have an egalitarian distribution of essential commodities at a fair price to all the consumers. The act also ensures that there is no hoarding or black marketing of the goods which are very much necessity for everyday life. So the government can fix minimum support price once it is declared as an essential commodity under this act. In the agriculture problem, yes, so you will see that the government usually fixes a minimum support price for the agricultural products. That is because Farmers have a lesser bargaining power individually, and therefore they are often required to sell at a low price, which would just result in loss. In India, so many farmers have committed suicide because of the pressure of insurmountable debt, environmental degradation, and extreme rates of cancer linked to exposure to pesticides. Now, time and inflation as factors affecting demand. So, gradually, with people will shift to other products. For example, uh, like abruptly, nobody will shift to electric cars, but as the prices of petrol are rising, so gradually people are transitioning to it. So that is the impact of inflation and time. That's it. Thank you. Tax incidence. The study of tax incidence is nothing but the study of who bears the burden of tax. So usually it is the consumer who bears this burden. For example, let's assume that the government has increased the tax on tobacco products so that people can smoke, people will quit smoking, and moreover the government will also get more revenue. So the impact of tax imposition is represented by an upward shift in supply of cigarettes. So, irrespective of what price the consumer pays, let's say consumer is paying $3. So, $1.5 is, let's say, the taxed amount. So, 1.5 of that price must go to the government. As a result of this, the sellers have to sell at a higher price, a price which could accommodate their cost of production, profit margin, as well as the tax amount imposed by the government. So, what is the implication? What is the incidence or effect of the increased tax? The effect is that the burden of this tax is borne by the consumer, because the sellers will sell them the cigarettes at a higher market price, which would be inclusive of the taxes.